So today's going to be an interesting video. It's going to be a bit of exposing the behind the scenes of what I see copy paste, cookie cutter design, electric bike companies coming out just to try to make a profit. Now, every single month, dozens of brands are popping up in the e-mobility space, and I believe oversaturating it. Now, when you, the consumer, are buying an electric bike, you're having to comb through hundreds of different brands that all look the same. They're not bringing anything new to the table. Other brands can literally just take decals off of a different bike, put theirs on it and say it's their own just to make a profit. But it's up to you on what you want to buy. Now, when you're making a purchase, are you looking at price, performance, or power? Are you looking at name recognition like Trek, Cannondale, or Specialized? Which me personally, I think a lot of people are getting away from that name recognition and only worrying about how much money it costs them to be able to get on a bike. With that being said, this video is not sponsored by Pucki, the weirdest name that's out there. Pucki, if you see this video, please comment below why you picked such a weird brand name. I kind of already know why you picked it, but I want you to answer below. With that being said, today's video is sponsored by Phantom Wallet, which we'll be talking about today's video sponsor a little bit later, but I do want to get straight into today's video to see what this bike offers that other copy-paste bikes don't. Now, it used to cost thousands and thousands of dollars to get on an e-bike from brands like Trek, Cannondale, Specialized, and others. The market really wanted something more affordable, and that's when brands started popping up left and right. Some of those brands are still around today, like Hemiway, KBO, Ride One Up, and others, while some of them left just as quickly as they came. Now, like I mentioned before, people are really getting away from the brand recognition and really trying to go to whatever really doesn't burn a hole in their wallet, and that's when we're talking about today's video sponsor, Phantom Wallet. Today's video is sponsored by Phantom Wallet. Phantom has wallets that can fit any budget, any style, have RFID protection, and come with a lifetime warranty on all models. Whether you want something simple, slim, and on a budget like the Phantom S that can add accessories like a money clip, coin holder, or an AirTag, or if you want to have something a bit more high-end like the Phantom X that is all aluminum and can add accessories like a coin holder, cash holder, ID holder, silicone band, and more, or if you want to go full minimalistic like the Phantom C MagSafe wallet that can attach to your iPhone, all great options to keep you organized and minimalistic on a budget. Thanks again for Phantom Wallet for sponsoring today's video. Now, does brand recognition actually matter anymore? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Personally, I think you can get a better bike from a less reputable brand that just popped up than maybe a Trek or a Specialized. And when I'm referring to these brands, I'm referring to their lowest priced electric bikes that are still at a higher price point than some of the newer brands' higher price point bikes, which is absolutely insane in my personal opinion. A lot of these brands use a lot of the same parts like Shimano components or Maxxis or Kendis tires, as well as Bosch motors, Tetra brakes, and more. Now, the one thing that those high-end brands have in common is they have a design team. Within the ship-to-consumer e-bike space, only a few brands have a design team that focus on standing out and not really taking parts off of the shelf or copying other brands around them. Now, I'm going to be using this bike as an example to showcase not only the specs that you'll be getting on this bike if you're interested in the Corgi 2.0, but also the fact that there are so many specs and features and parts on this bike that you can get on a range of bikes that look just like this that are out there. So here's the rundown of the Corgi 2.0. The bike retails for $11.99 and weighs in at 70 pounds. It has a 750 watt motor with a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery pack that's packing you with a range of upwards of 40 to 80 miles depending on what pedal assist level you're in. You also get a max load capacity of 400 pounds, hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm rotors, a 7-speed Shimano derailleur, adjustable suspension fork with a massively comfortable seat and rear suspension. Now that brief rundown is out of the way, let's talk about the top speed and braking power of the Corgi 2.0. All right, so now we're going to do the speed test and brake test on the Pucki Corgi 2.0. Gosh, I hate that name. I'm going to keep saying that throughout the video. Pucki, worst name ever. We're going to do the speed test and pedal assist 1 through 5, see what our top speeds are through each pedal assist level. And then we're going to be doing throttle only straight into a brake test on these 180mm rotors. We're going to be clocking in the speed here on the Bike GPS app on the iOS store. I'm sure that there's one for the Android store as well. Let's get into it. Pedal assist level 1, hitting start. And we're off about 3/4 of the way around and we're cruising. Showing pretty true to speed, 8 miles an hour, pedal assist level 1, pedal assist level 2. $11 miles per hour, pedal assist level 3. 15 miles an hour, pedal assist level 4. Bit of a jump right there. 19 miles an hour, pedal assist level 5. The real jump. Over 20, let's see if we can get 25. Pedaling really hard right now. Nice. Let's go see what this throttle only can do. All right, so throttle only, we're gonna be doing this in pedal assist level 5 because it has the highest output level. Hitting start. We're off. Nice smooth little take up right there. Brings you up to speed pretty quick. Already at 16 miles an hour. 18. Ah, I feel that limiter right there at 20. A little over 20 mile an hour. It keeps cutting out, which means that there is a limiter on this bike. Let's test out these brakes. In 3, 2, 1. Dang. That is just the rear brake, by the way. I was not about to lock up the front with a hand barely on here, but these brakes definitely work pretty good. I'd say roughly about 35 feet, which is pretty standard for a 180 millimeter rotor with some knobby tires like this. With that being said, let's go talk about the stats on this speed test and brake test, and then we'll jump over to the hill test. All right, for the speed test and pedal assist 1 through 5, we traveled a total distance of 1,226 feet with an average speed of 17.1 miles per hour, a max speed of 25.8 miles per hour in 53 seconds. Like I said, which is up to par with a lot of other cookie cutter copy-paste bikes that are out there. So with that being said, let's talk about the throttle only. Now in throttle only, we only traveled a total distance of 751 feet with an average speed of 17.5 miles per hour and a max speed of 21 miles per hour evenly in 30 seconds, which I did feel that limiter throughout the entire process. It did feel like it could have gone a bit faster, but that limiter definitely came into play. With that being said, this is how that bike performed when it came to the speed test and brake test. Let's head over to the hill test and see how it does. All right, so we're gonna be doing the hill test at the same spot I do all my hill tests here with the double switchback hill with 15-degree grade. It's a bit, let's just say messed up from the earthquake we had about 2.5 months ago here in the East Coast. So you might see me dodging some cones. With that being said, we're doing this in pedal assist level 5 and throttle only, so I can show you guys the difference on what you can expect with the power output of a bike like this. With that being said, let's go. Hit and start. 3/4 of the way around. Push, 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 push. There it goes. Kicks in. We're off. Pushing about 15 miles per hour. Here comes that first bump. Let's cut over. Woo! Gotta keep going. 15 miles per hour. A little bit sluggish, to be honest with you, on the hill. Cut this turn. Yeah, the power seems a little bit delayed there. There we go. Coming up to the second turn. This will be the steepest part of the hill. Pushing. 9 miles an hour, 10. There's some power kick right there. 14. 14 miles an hour. All right, let's go try out throttle only. All right, so throttle only. I will say that the pedal assist was a little underwhelming there. I feel like there was a lag in the power for sure. Right now we are doing 12 miles per hour. Here comes that first bump. Woo. Full throttle right now, 13 miles per hour, and we're not even up the steepest part of the hill. Cut the turn, let's throttle out of it. 12 miles per hour. Feels pretty responsive. A little bit more responsive than the pedal assist so far. Second turn, let's hit these brakes. We were at 18 miles per hour there. Last hill. Now it continues to want to pull. I don't feel it like sputtering out, but it definitely is wanting to pull the rest of the way. Right now we're doing 12 miles per hour. Coming up to the peak. Not bad, but to be expected with these style bikes. Like I said, you're gonna see a lot of these same features on a lot of other bikes that look just like this. Hence the reason why I like to call it a copycat. So in closing, my personal opinion on the e-mobility space being so oversaturated and who's to blame, I think it's all of us, honestly. I really do believe that the e-mobility space is ever growing and eventually a lot of these brands will fizzle out. Where does Pucki stand in this? I think it's one of those brands that will fizzle out. Not to say it's not a good bike for you to buy. I do believe that it does perform as it says it would. But the brand name absolutely sucks, and they do basically copy paste a lot of other bikes that are out there. With that being said, I'm not really into that style of a bike, but if you guys are into it, I definitely encourage you to look at that, as well as other bikes I put in the description below that are comparable, but with better names. With that being said, there are a lot of other brands out there that are forward-thinking, pushing the envelope when it comes to e-mobility, and I put those brands in the description below for you to be able to check out as well. Now, big shout out to Phantom Wall for sponsoring today's video, and I really encourage you guys to support the channel and check out their products. So with that being said, if you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.